Ronell Nolan, President, CEO, Health Agents for America, coming to you live this Monday. I apologize again. You're not going to see my face. Most of you that listened to Monday News last week noticed that I wasn't feeling well. Monday afternoon, I tested positive for COVID. So I've been struggling a little bit with that. I am feeling better, but today has been a little bit of a struggle, just being kind of weak, trying to get back in the groove. So not going to see my face, but I absolutely am working. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about state exchanges. We've talked a little bit about Louisiana State Exchange. I'm also going to talk a little bit about Virginia State Exchange and all state exchanges in general. As far as Louisiana State Exchange, I do have a meeting with the Commissioner of Insurance next Monday to discuss making this bill a study resolution versus creating a state exchange without any study done on this situation. The other is the Virginia State Exchange and the fact that there is not an agent association on the committee for the exchange, but there is an agent. So along with one of our Virginia agents, have reached out to this gentleman and are going to talk to him today about, maybe being our liaison, letting us know what's going on and being our voice. And that kind of leads into the state exchanges. We want to make sure that on all the state exchanges that agents have representation. So as always, we are relying on our volunteers in each state to kind of take a look, number one, do you have a oversight committee? Number two, is there agent representation? And if there is, who is that? And if you could let me know, that would help us in 2021 to make sure that we have some type of representation on every oversight committee. And of course, like in Virginia, it doesn't have to be a HOFA member, but it needs to be someone who represents our needs and our wants and helps protect our industry. I wanted to talk a little bit about Arpa, American Rescue Plan Act, and that's the new acronym, Arpa. To me, it sounds like Orca the whale and makes me giggle, but I'm going to go with it and say Arpa. And talk about the Fsa Maximum Contributions for 2021. First of all, I want to let you know this is not mandatory. The employers must decide if they want to amend their plans and make this change. It allows them to change the dependent care FSA benefits from $5,000 to $10,500. That's a huge amount. But again, the plan sponsors need to determine whether they want to adopt that change. And then they'll need to amend their plan documents. It's important to know that the allowable election is on top of any carryover from 2020. Now, this is a short period because we're into 2021, and those changes would need to be made ASAP, but the allowable charge is on top of any that they carried over. The other thing is there is unlimited carryover to 2022 legally. So they could legally take that $10,500 and carry it over to 2022. The other thing is it increased the dependent age limit from 13 to 14. And again, you need to let your clients know they need to make this decision ASAP so they can go ahead and change their plan documents and things like that. Our sponsor, New Synergy, who was on the on the Power Hour, if you were on last Wednesday, Jason Galvin works on the FSAs, happy to help you with that, and the Cobra that's included in Arpa. Very important, the Cobra part and how that affects your clients, not only Cobra, but mini Cobra. The other thing I wanted to touch base on is the healthcare.gov extending their sign-up period to August 15th. Now, each state exchange will make that decision on whether they'll extend it or not. But the biggest part is that in Arpa is that all these folks in the marketplace or out of the marketplace or over 400% of poverty are getting a substantial tax credit to buy health insurance. So in order for them to get that new tax credit, you need to touch their plan. It'll automatically give them the tax credit. If you are looking for a easy way, maybe a shortcut, if you'll email me directly, I'll make sure that you get that shortcut. We did have a member on the Power Hour say that this was worth her Hoffa membership, so I guess it was pretty good. But know that, as I always say, you need to make sure that you're helping your clients and that that someone else isn't coming behind you and doing that. With Help Sherpa, it's very easy to go in and take a client by having their information. So you could lose some clients without being proactive and making sure they receive that tax credit. Now, the tax credit goes back to January. So those people will get back to January on their tax return for 2021. In addition, if they decide they do not want to make a change at this time, and I'm not sure why they would not want to make a change, then they would get their full tax credit at the end of their tax period for 2021. So very important that in Arpa. And that's also going to affect the small group market. And those that are in the small group market and you're not in the individual market, I'm asking that you take a close look into getting involved in the individual market. I think you're going to see a switch like we saw a couple of years ago, where individual rates are much cheaper because of the tax credit they can obtain. You're going to see some of those small groups say, look, I can, because of the income of my folks, could be above 400% of poverty, they can get a tax credit. They'll pay much less, and it's beneficial to my employees to let them go into the marketplace. So you might see that happen, and then you might see more of the ICRAs happen. And again, a plug for New Synergy. If you're looking into an ICRA, they can absolutely help you, Jason Gavin, and that's JGALVIN at newsynergy.com, or you can go to the Hoffa website, click on Partners, and you'll find his information there to bring you directly to their website. I also wanted to point out that Benefits Pro is having their conference in August in San Diego. The link is also there under Partners. And if you'd like to go and get the Hoffa discount, that's Hoffa 15. You would put that code and receive your Hoffa discount. And then almost the last thing that I want to talk about is in Arpa is the Cobra Credits. And Angie Sura from Navigate HCR has done several webinars for us, and I can't tell you how important this is that your clients understand how this works and how they get their money back, and it's through payroll taxes. And again, how this does affect those that did not take Cobra yet. They decided against it. They can take it now. So there's a lot of if, ands, or buts included in this law, and how exactly it works. So in the Monday Morning News, if you scroll down to the very bottom, you'll see that we'll have past webinars. You can click on there and actually watch the webinar of Angie about how the Cobra credits work with your employer and Mini Cobra, which is state continuance. And then the last thing I want to talk about is something I read from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas about the transparency rules that was in the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021, the federal budget. And they kind of outlined what has changed. And basically there has to be machine-readable files. There has to be a cost-sharing tool. Now, the machine-readable files is effective January 1st, 2022. The cost-sharing estimator tool is effective January 1st, 2023. an MLR savings, shared saving adjustment, and that is beginning 2020, so that's already in effect. Advanced explanation of benefits, effective 1/1/2022. Accuracy of provider directories, 1/1/2022. And ID cards must include the deductible, out-of-pocket, customer service phone or website contact information, January 1st, 2022. So it applies to all individual and group insurers, group health plans, but does not include ASO and grandfathered plans. It does include ASO grandmothered plans. It does not apply to grandfathered plans. So yes to ASO grandmother, no to grandfather. So I kind of wanted to let you know that, which I thought that was very, very important. So I got through without a lot of coughing, a little bit of shortness of breath, but that's okay. We're going to power through, and not much can keep me down and keep me away from you guys. I just realized that for some reason the phone has been off, so I apologize if you tried to call the office. The phone, for some reason, I don't know, somehow I turned it off, so my apologies. But you definitely can reach me through text or through my email. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope next week I'm on screen and life is much better, but I seem to want to make it over really quickly, and it just doesn't happen that way. But anyway, I am proud and honored to represent the Hoffa Freedom Fighters, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Love you guys. Have a wonderful week.